We talk to the legends of the creative and entertainment industries. We talk to those on the rise. Lance Dean Antony Nielsen asks about the highs, the lows, and everything in between. This is Outcast Creative, and this is Industry Interviews.
Hello, welcome to the channel once again. If you are new, don't forget to like and subscribe to the Outcast Creative. It is here where we support independent creatives. We interview people right across the creative spectrum, everyone from board games designers, writers, musicians, actors, playwrights, scriptwriters, directors, board games designers. Did I say that twice? I think I did. So, and every other thing you can think of. Basically, if you do something creative and I can support you, then you can write to me, care of the Outcast Creative Facebook page, or Lance Nielsen WD on Twitter. If you've got a creative project that I can support, I will happily have you on. Now, loads of people will know I've kind of like got back into the rave scene in the last couple of years. That is the subject of my next book next year, Back to Raving at 50. So I've been talking to people on the rave scene, everyone from promoters, podium dancers. We've got Vicky Lee coming in next week, who's something of a legend on the Ibiza and London dance scene. And one of the things I've been doing is I've been supporting where I can the smaller events. So plugging and promoting things like Transvania, which was Adele and Daze's personal event. Things like Hello Rave, which is run by the Reed brothers, good friends of mine. And then we've also got coming up various trance events. Of course, I've been supporting Peach. They don't need my support. They're massive. But Peach and Strawberry the other week, which was just absolutely a phenomenal event. One of my favorites of the year. And I've been to, I think, about 16, 17 events this year. I've still got another 3 at least to do before the end of the year. At least 3. Might be squeezing in a 4th one, which may not be wise. So my guest today is a special man. Little bit of a difficult story. So at Hello Rave, I was introduced to for the second time. Had met him once before to a man called Jess Jones, who was one of the co-founders of Rave Allusion, which is a rave event. And he was asking me if I would come to his next event. And I had just done 7 weeks of raving in a row. 7 Saturdays in a row, which in my youthful years is quite a lot. So I did have to say to him, look, mate, this weekend, that weekend, I've already said I'm definitely taking it off. I'm having a chill weekend, Sunday roast, all of that kind of stuff. But I'll promote the event for you. Why don't you come on my channel and talk about it? I'd love to do that for you. And he said, oh, that'd be great. And covered me in all these Rave Allusion stickers forthwith. Very tragically, Jess passed away a few days after that. But today we have the co-founder and one of his closest friends, DJ Antony P, is in the house with me. Welcome to the Outcast Creative channel. What a pleasure to have you here.
And you, glad to be here. I'm good, thank you.
Fantastic. Well, thanks so much for coming on. I hope you didn't mind me filling in the background there, kind of how because that's kind of how we came to meet, really, is Jess told you about the conversation I had with him and was quite excited about it from what I remember you saying.
Oh, yeah, definitely. When I see him coming out after Hello Rave, he was well excited, telling me about this, that. He'd met you. We're going to do a little YouTube podcast thing together and all that with you. He was well happy.
Well, I mean, we'll talk about him more in a little bit. One of the things I do, if you've watched any of my other interviews, is I do a few quick fire questions to get a sense of your cultural upbringing where film, media, television and music are concerned. In other words, what were things that were hitting you when you were young, when you were in your youth? Only a few years ago. And it might be you might not remember some of these things, but do your best. So just a few quick questions and then we'll dive into your career and background. Do you remember the first movie you saw on the big screen at the cinema?
Oh, no.
What is the first one you can remember being taken to see or seeing as a kid that had a big impact on you?
Oh, I don't know, to be fair. Probably E.T. maybe.
E.T. Okay, now that's a couple of other people have given that one as a question. Do you remember the last time you went to the cinema?
Yeah, it was about 2 weeks ago.
What'd you see?
The new Venom film with the missus.
Any good?
Yes, very good as it goes. I love Venom, so it's always a good
Fantastic.
watch.
Do you have a TV show that's come out since the year 2000? I won't be too rigid on that rule with you, but like a TV drama show I'm talking about. I'm not talking about EastEnders.
Yeah.
That's like something that you were like really into and you were like, oh, I've got to binge watch all of this.
Probably The Big Bang Theory, if that's allowed.
Yeah, I mean, it's a comedy. What about something more serious, something more gritty, like The Wire or something like that?
Oh, that's a tough one. That is. There's been a few really, but on the top of my head, I can't think of one. It'll come back to me in a minute.
Were you a fan of the sheep?
That's the one. Peaky
Blinders. That's
yes.
a good choice. You'll probably be looking forward to the movie, which is being shot as we speak. In fact,
hopefully, but some of the series that are good, when the movies come out, they're not as good. That's the sometimes.
Well, it's all the same team, so I'm quietly hopeful. I think that the Peaky Blinders movie will be quite good. Certainly, they're spending a lot of money on it. We shall see. Okay, let's do some music orientated ones now. Do you remember the first? Because you're young enough, old enough to remember. You'll remember Our Price Records, won't you? Our Price Records, and when the Virgin
definitely. Woolworths. You get Woolworths records back in the day as well.
The Woolworths charts, near the pick and mix. Do you remember what the first 7-inch single was you ever got?
I think I've still got it, to be fair, and I think it's AEIOU.
Okay, what was the first vinyl album?
Michael Jackson, I think. Thriller back in the day.
Yeah, I've still got that. Do you remember the name of the first nightclub you ever went to?
Oh, it would be probably one in Tottenham.
Not the one that's the
not the big one, but the little one.
Little one, yeah.
The little one, the one in Tottenham. I can't think of the name of it off the top of my head, but I think that was the first nightclub I probably went to. I was 15 at the time as well.
That's all right. What was the first dance music event that you attended, rave, illegal or legal or otherwise, as a punter, not as a DJ? As a punter?
Probably maybe Dungeons. I can't remember top of my head, but possibly Dungeons.
What sort of year would that have been?
88.
Okay, 88.
88 was the first time I went out. I was at Spiral Tribe. I went to biology, well dance, and everything else. I loved it back in the day. I was all over the
biology.
place.
God, yeah. Well, I do remember mates of mine going to biology and telling me it was good. I don't think I went there, but I definitely heard of it.
Always good back in the day.
All right,
I used to go to Roller Express quite a lot as well. I lived close to Roller Express, and that was always a favourite haunt of mine.
Well, you'll be pleased to know the quickfire questions are over now. So, let me just check your score. Very good. You did 7 out of 10. Good score.
I thought I'd at least got a 9.
So, all right, let's go back. Just tell me a bit about yourself. Where did you grow up, and what were the sort of musical influences that were whirling around you in your youth?
I sort of grew up sort of in East London sort of way, Walthamstow, Chingford, and all that. And I used to like soul music back in the day, hip hop as well.
Tell me a couple of the artists in particular that you would, you followed or looked up to.
Shaka Khan, I really liked. I went to go and see her in concert back in the day, which I really liked. I liked all the hip hop scene and stuff like that back in the day, all the soul music and everything like that was coming out.
Were you doing a bit of the body popping and breakdancing and all that?
I could just about do the caterpillar, and that's about it.
Yeah, I did a little bit of that. Do you remember those two guys in Leicester Square that always used to dance for money? The two black guys. There was the guy who looked like Yaphet Kotto. He was quite chunky. He had a black bandana on his head. And then there was the little one with the afro. And they were there I remember them being there the first time I went up to Leicester Square. They were there in 1985. And they were still there towards the end of the 90s, most weekends. They used to put a mat down. And they used to pull kids out. And they'd get kids to do like the chain with them. Did you ever see them?
No, I didn't.
Always wondered what happened to them.
They sound good.
They were there for a really long time, man. I'd love to get them on this channel if I could find them. Yeah, they were funny. Yeah,
so if it was social media nowadays, you'd have no problems.
Yeah, I need to get their names. I just don't know their names, but someone will have photos or video of them somewhere. I mean, it'll be old, but this is pre-digital, you know. But I think the last time I saw them there was probably about 2002, something like that. So, okay, so you got brought up with a bit of soul, hip hop, R&B. So that's all like the kind of, what's that, the sort of mid 80s era?
Yes.
So how did that, talk us through your kind of journey into DJing a bit?
When I first started going out to proper raves and that back in the day, I was used to admire what the DJs could do and everything else. So I just thought I'd give it a go, really, at the end of the day, and then just practice until I got to a standard where I thought I was good enough to play on radio, play out and stuff like that. I started roughly, my first ever mix was in 1992, and I've still got the tape of it now, but if you listen to it, no, it's not very good. And I used to drive about it blaring with the cars after raves and everything, and yeah, I thought it was the nuts, but it weren't.
Right, okay. Well, I don't know. Some people probably liked it back then.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Choice of tracks was not as extensive as it is now.
The tracks on it are unbelievable. All the tracks, it's like ones that go off now if you went to a hardcore rave. So it's 92 that I started to learn how to mix. Really.
What was the first like rave track that you remember, or early school dance? I mean, there's so many subgenres within this area, but the first track that you remember, like, you know, getting up and dancing to a rave, or that really got you dancing?
I don't know really. It's probably got to go back to all the acid house days, like Tricky Disco and stuff like that. Probably.
Yeah, because for me it was Prodigy, No Good Start the Dance. I think that was around. Was that around 91?
Yeah, I was a bit earlier than that. 88, 89 I started, so a bit earlier than that when it was more the acid scene.
Yeah, and the acid scene sort of only lasted a few years, didn't it? And then it became something else.
Yeah,
it evolved quite quickly.
Summer Love come out, and then all the Summer of Love tunes come out and stuff like that back in then, and that's when I turned to that because I thought it was a lot better genre of music.
Right. So do you remember your first gig, the first time you got up as a DJ and played in front of people?
That was probably in a house party, I think.
What about your first one at an actual club?
Where people that was in a pub in Camden. That was in a pub in Camden, and that was playing Two-Step Garage when they was first coming out. I think that was in 2007.
Okay, I would have been I would have been in and out of Camden.
No, I think that was 97.
97.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think it probably would have been earlier than that. 97.
Yeah, 97. Because I was getting the tunes out of the record shop that day, and then I was dropping them in the bar that night, and I had a good crowd for the Two-Step Garage.
You had a couple of really good vinyl record shops in Camden back then.
Yeah, Camden, and I used to go up to the ones in Walthamstow as well.
Yeah. A lot of them have gone.
Criminal Records. I used to go and see Jazzy D back in the day.
Yeah. So, do you remember anything specific about the first time you played? Any specific memories, or how it went? What the reaction of the crowd was? What track went down the best? Anything like that?
Probably the best track that I ever played in there was probably Flowers, the Two-Step Flowers version. I got it that morning, played it in there, and the place went absolutely nuts for it. And I got it on a white promo. And that's probably the first time I remember I like playing to a crowd when they're going mad, if you get what I mean. It was a good feeling.
Yeah. Did you do you still have that on vinyl?
Yep, I still got it in there on vinyl. I've still got all my vinyl. It's something I can never part with. Even though the missus would love me to get rid of it, it will never happen, I don't think. Sorry, darling. I know she's probably watching as well. She's probably laughing at that. I try and smuggle some in sometimes, but she catches me. So I can't bring no more vinyl in.
She probably is watching. You can't part a DJ from his vinyl collection. That's kind of sacrilege.
Oh yeah, definitely. I've got some bangers in there as well.
I've still got my vinyl. I've still got 3 boxes of, the big boxes with the clips on the front. I've got 3 of them just down here. They're not. It's not clubbing stuff. It's nearly all film soundtracks. I've got a couple of probably about a dozen 12-inch singles that are music stuff, but everything else is James Horner and John Williams.
I've got a bit of everything in there. I've got 80s. I've got drum and bass. I've got jungle. I've got breaks. I've got house. I've got garage. You name it. I've got it sitting in their house. Everything sitting in there on vinyl, really.
So once you started DJing, was it just in the late 90s, and you're still DJing now, and I've seen you a couple of times, has it ever become a full-time job, or has it always been a part-time gig?
I've always looked at it as a hobby, and it's something that I enjoy doing.
Right.
That's the way I've always looked at it at the end of the day.
So
in the past 15, I'd say 12 years, I've taken it more professionally in a way, if I can.
Yeah. So I guess my next question would be, how do you juggle, because presumably you have to do another job to survive. How do you juggle a job, relationship, and doing the DJ thing as a hobby and get a sort of not perfect work-life balance, because no one ever has one, but the best that you can? How do you, how have you managed that?
Just enjoy it.
Just
really,
enjoy it.
At the end of the day, it's something that I really love doing, is the DJing side of it. I met the missus. She was a dancer. She used to dance for Raindance, Rat Pack back in the day, and everything like that. So we've met through music, and it just works at the end of the day. We like going out and everything else every weekend. So she enjoys it. I enjoy it. So as long as we both enjoy it, it's all good.
How long ago did you meet your partner?
20 years ago.
So that's pretty solid, man. That you've already lasted like longer than most of my friends' marriages. That's pretty good going.
Oh yeah, definitely. 100%.
What's the secret, Anthony? Tell everyone watching. What's the secret to long-lasting love?
Long-lasting love. Yeah. The way I look at it is, it's a happy wife, it's a happy life.
Excellent. Okay. And if you want to know what is a happy life, Anthony's bringing out a 6-volume book with various notes and advice on next year on how you can achieve that. It's a long list.
Oh, if I had a key to make it work, I'd give you the secret, but there's no secret to it. We just met and get on. We've got the same interests. It's just good.
I've met your other half, and I liked her immediately, and I also remembered her as well from we danced at a few of the similar places. It's funny, the people I keep bumping into, man. So Pixie, welcome to the chat. Good to see you here. I have a feeling this is somebody who either knows one of us or both of us.
Yeah, it's Little Lolly.
Oh yeah, is that
Little Lolly? She's on the lineups and all that with us. She's a good up and coming DJ.
Ah, excellent. Well, that is good to know. I'll tell you what, we'll get you on at some point then. Next time you've got a gig coming up, let's say in 2025, that's a good one. You let me know, and we'll get you on the channel for an interview if you're up for it. You don't have to be on camera, because not everybody's as good looking as Anthony, obviously. But it's better if you are on camera. It's better if you are on camera.
I'm surprised I haven't broke a few cameras as it goes. A few screens out there at the moment.
Mate, tell me about it. Don't worry about that. It's all dry sense of humour on this. Channel. Wormy Spoons has got a question for you here. Have you got a drum and bass track by High Contrast called Return of Forever? Do you know that?
I've got a few High Contrast tracks on vinyl, but off the top of my head, I couldn't tell you. I've got so many tracks, I'd have to go and have a dig out of them and have a little look.
High Contrast, Return of Forever. I'll have a quick look for that, Spoons. So let's talk about Rave Allusion, if that's not too big a leap. Or was there anything? So you're DJing and you're doing it as a hobby. Before you met Jess and you started collaborating and organising your own event, was there any sort of significant milestones between those two things that you might want to mention before we get on to Rave Allusion?
Oh, well, I've done quite a few things, I suppose, since I started taking it up properly in, I'd probably say 2005, 2007. Like I was on the pirate radio station back in the day. I've like booked out Bagley's back in the day, Carlin Academy with my partners. So I've had events back in the day. I've played at like the O2 Arena twice. I've been on Shine 879 back in the day, the big pirate station with Craze. I've done quite a lot of things as it goes. You know what I mean? Before leading up to this. This is, as they would say, this is not my first rodeo.
Rodeo. Indeed. My love events. Love this great interview. We're just getting warmed up, but thank you very much. That's a nice compliment to have early on. And you've also you've also DJ for Centerorce, right?
That is correct.
Tell us how that came about, and tell us what is Centerorce for anyone watching who doesn't know.
Centerorce is a massive DAB radio station that broadcasts all around the world with the apps and everything else. We're live on DAB across London and everywhere else, surrounding counties, and also up north as well. So, no, it's really good. It's a really good station to be on. I've got two shows as well, 2 a.m. to 4 a.m. Friday morning, and then every other Saturday midnight till 2 a.m.
I will put the link for Centerorce in the chat. There it is. If you want to check it out yourself. And of course, we've already had Danny Lines from Centerorce Radio on the station before. And we've had a couple of other DJs on. I've had Charmaine Love and Adele and Dyer from the trance world recently. And I've got several more coming on, including Claire Flanagan's coming on the first week of January as well. So I've also had yeses from loads of people. I've written to loads of people who've agreed to come on. So just a question of sorting out dates. So I have a feeling in the next first 2 months of 2025, I'm going to be interviewing quite a few DJs. How do you find that doing a radio show as opposed to being in a live venue? Obviously, you haven't got the people in front of you. You haven't got that energy, that buzz coming back at you. How do you manage that? What's the different process? Talk us through it a bit.
You've got to love radio. Really, really a lot to actually do it, because virtually you're playing to no one, but in the back of your head, you've got to think you're playing to thousands and thousands of people on there because you're live across radio. And you do get a buzz from it. It's a different kind of a buzz than when you're playing out, but no, it's still good, and you get motivated from everything else, especially when you're on a big, massive station and you've got thousands and thousands of people listening, and you see the phone lines going down and like all the texts and messages and everything else. It does go quick and fly by.
Yeah, well, I can imagine it probably. It's like these interviews when I do these, they basically, people say, how long is it? And I'll say, typically around an hour. Oh, that seems long. I said, trust me, when you're on, it will seem like 5 minutes.
Yes, it does. And I even have listeners come through all the time going, oh my God, 2 hours went so quick and everything else.
Yeah.
I still prefer, though, I prefer playing out in front of a crowd, though.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Definitely. I much prefer it. I like them both, but if I had to pick one, it'd be absolutely playing out. Especially as like last week when it was in Fabric for Peach and Strawberry. That was like playing in a venue like Fabric. That's just another level.
I think you were playing in the Strawberry Room.
No, I was playing in the My Love Room.
Oh, okay.
It's in the third room when I was playing in the My Love Room. Then again, Mr. Duncan Disorderly from Strawberry did let me have a mix in the second room, so I've got to be grateful for that.
Yeah, because when I went to go up to the My Love Room, at first the security weren't letting people up there.
No, because it was only meant to be VIP, but then they opened it.
Yeah, so I got that in my head like early on. Oh, I'm not allowed up there. I haven't got a VIP thing on. So I didn't go up there again. That was it. So I missed you. I was alternating between the main room and the Strawberry Room. You probably saw me there a few times because I was on the podium in the Strawberry Room, and every time I went in there, I was straight up on those two little podiums you had either side.
Yeah, you do like a podium, from what I can gather.
I do, yeah. But old habits die hard, mate. And just just starting to remember all my old routines, and the confidence is coming back. And do you know what? For my mental health, that's really good for me. So my mum would be proud of me, you know, because she was a dancer, so she was all about getting up on stage. And yeah, no, it was good. But
right. You'll have to come Rave Allusion then. Have to get you up
absolutely,
on the
mate. The 25th of March. I've got one thing.
15th
I've got to wait.
of March. 15th of March. The next one.
Sorry, 15th. Let's put that up now because I've got it ready here as it happens. So before I cock up the date again. So 15th of March, people. Just to reiterate, 1-5, not 2-5. And this is.
There's only 30 tickets left, if that now. So if anyone wants them.
30 tickets left.
And
like,
if anyone wants them, hit me up on all my socials, and you can come and get tickets there. They're only a tenner, and you'll have a good day.
Rave Allusion has its own Facebook page, and it's Rave Allusion with an A. Rave Allusion with an I, as I've previously written almost everywhere. Got another one of my favourite DJs on that event. Not only have you got Duncan, you've also got Marion Key. I love Marion Key. She's wicked.
Bless her. She is a very good DJ, bless her.
She's a great DJ. I've had a good bop with her on about 3 occasions.
I call her the Queen of Hype. We call her the Queen of Hype, bless her, because she always brings the hype behind the decks.
Yeah, and she's all. I think every time I've seen her, I think she's dressed in red, pretty much. Red is Marion's colour for sure. And then there's another lady who had almost the same costume on her at Hello Rave. And I got a picture with this other woman, and I sent it to Marion. I went, "Look at this great picture I've got with you," and it wasn't her. It really looked like her though, and I think that's also another DJ who looks like her apparently. So there you go.
I'll have to keep my eye out for her then.
I should get them to do a duet together. I think that'd be pretty funny. They look honestly, they look like sisters. Do you know what? If I can, I'll find that photo and I'll show you in a sec. So
definitely.
As we've got Rave Allusion up, let's talk about the late Jess Jones a little bit. How did you and Jess first meet?
I think we met at Strawberries a few years ago.
So what, we're going back 2015 or pre-pandemic or?
Oh no, after pandemic.
After pandemic.
It was after pandemic. Yeah, it was probably about 2.5, 3 years ago I met him, and it was at Strawberries. I got introduced to him by Duncan Disorderly and Bonnie.
Okay, yeah, they're lovely. What an amazing couple.
Yeah, definitely. I called them my son and my daughter, bless them, and they call me and my missus mum and dad. Got to look after them.
There ain't that big an age gap between the two. Let me not say anything, because otherwise Duncan's going to come after me with a spoon, and he's probably watching. I'd seen Jess at quite a few events before I spoke to him. The first time I actually spoke to him, he came up with his dog outside one of the pubs that we were meeting at, and I just recognised him. I thought, I know this guy. I've seen him at a couple of other events, and just said a sort of like, you know, you're right, that kind of thing. But I didn't really know who he was. It wasn't until Hello Rave, when he was going around putting stickers on everyone, and he came and asked me if I would come, that we had a proper conversation. And these are a few of his pictures. I don't want to show too much stuff here, but I just wanted to get a good photo so people could see. This is Jess at the back on the left, and with the Rave Allusion t-shirts on. So just,
that's the shop that sponsors Rave Allusion, blue one in London.
Yeah. So how did it come about? Tell us about Rave Allusion. Tell us about, because you co-founded it together, is my understanding, unless I've got that wrong.
Yes. No, definitely, 100%.
To talk us about that first conversation. Who said what to whom, and how did it come about?
We come out of Strawberry Sundaes, and I live in the central of London, and Strawberry Sundaes is at Cloud 9. Right. So I think a couple of people come back to ours because we're only like a 15-minute drive from there. So we come back to ours, and me and Jess just started talking about why don't we try and do something small, intimate, and let's have a party at the end of the day with people that we know and DJs that we like as well. and music that we want, because there's so much music out there that is like, there's loads of house events and this event with this, but there's nothing that really plays breaks and rave house that we like.
Right.
So we've like, let's do a little event, start it off little, and let's do a little event which going to play breaks and rave house, which we've done at the end of the day. More breaks, but with the rave house side of it as well.
Sarah Preston's in the chat. Rave Allusion was immense. So there you go. Someone
Bless
who's
you.
there.
Thank you.
Someone who
Don't
was there
forget
in the
15th
trenches.
of March. Next one.
I think this is Pinky, unless I remember. Unless I'm remembering that wrong. Sue, Rave Allusion was hands down my best rave this year. Don't say that because I wasn't there.
Yeah, but you'll be at the next one.
I thought it was you, sir.
Yeah, it's Pinky. Hi, Pinky.
Yeah, actually, Pinky and I are we're gonna do like a rave report of 2024. So I've got to sort out an evening. We'll probably do it on something like the 29th or the 30th of. I'm doing a wrap up show on my channel actually on the 30th of December. So Sarah, if you can be free that night for an hour, what we could do is make a section of that wrap up show, kind of about the raves we went to that year, and I'm going to talk through the whole list of all the events I went to. And it's so hard to pick a favorite, but I think Peach and Strawberry is up there.
100%.
For the top three for me are probably, and not in this order, just at an equal level, would probably be Peach 31st birthday Coco, Orange Reunion Coco, and Peach and Strawberry Fabric. Coco's my favorite venue, hands down. I love that. You walk in, that immense experience. It's big enough to feel like it's an epic event, but small enough that you can still find your mates when you're looking for them after about 20 minutes. But you know, whereas like going somewhere like the Drum Shed just doesn't appeal to me. I don't want to be in a room the size of an aircraft carrier hangar, wandering about trying to look for my mate in a crowd of 3,000 people. That just don't appeal to me. I do like the intimate events. So you were going for an intimate event. So what's the capacity at that venue? Were we talking sort of 300-400, that kind of size?
150.
So it's more, it's like basing.
So it's small, intimate. It's in an arch as well.
Right.
It's got a nice garden as well out there.
Yeah, I saw the pictures of the garden. This is going to be on the 15th of March, and Pinky said she's going to use her magical powers to make sure the sun's come out and winter's gone by then, which is good news. I'm glad.
She's done a really nice review as it goes of the rave.
Yeah, I listen. I heard nothing but good things about that event. Sarah's asking, is Crystal MC going to be there? I think I saw them on the poster. Is that right?
No, she's not, but she will be there. And I'm sure we'll get her up on the mic at some point.
Wicked. All right, excellent. All right, so you got together with Jess and talked about it. What was the process from? Okay, this is what we want to do: a small intimate event, this kind of music. We're going to get our friends to DJ. We're both going to DJ, etc. What was the from that first conversation after that night till event one of Rave Allusion? How long did that take? Talk us through it.
It didn't take too long because Jess already sort of knew the venue that he wanted to get. He'd probably seen the venue probably about a month, not seen it, but heard about it, looked online about it, and he probably knew about it about a month before he talked to me. And he said, basically, we'll do a thing together. Do you fancy it? I think I've got a venue. We'll call it a name. We come up with a name. I think me, him, and my girlfriend Crystal sit there and thought with a name.
Right.
We managed to get the phone number. We went into the club, I think about 2 weeks or something from phoning them. Loved the club and then booked it. So from probably about 3 weeks of us actually talking, it all sort of started rolling into one at the end of the day.
When it comes to booking a venue as an so the organisation Rave Allusion, booking the venue and that, what for let's say for an event of this size, 150 to 300 people max, this kind of size, Cloud9 is kind of like a similar sort of size venue. What kind of cost is involved for the promoter typically? I mean, you don't need me to give you your specific budgetary details, but for a venue of that size, as a hire for an event, how does it work? Are they charging you X plus they're making money on the bar, or are you getting a bit of a bar? How does it work?
Most of the time, it's like we have to sort of guarantee a bar spend, the amount of people that we come to. As long as we guarantee the bar spend, then most of the time we can get the venue for nothing at the end of the day. Then all we got to do is pay the DJs and whatever else we put. Like we've made stickers, wristbands. As you can see, we've done our banners at the side, the back to hang up around the club and everything else. So we have an outlay, but we just got to make sure most of the time we meet that bar spend. But all clubs are different, but most of them do go on you've got a minimum bar spend that you have to hit.
And I mean, with people sort of often, consuming refills, not buying vast amounts of alcohol, how easy is it to hit that bar spend typically, would you say?
It's quite easy for the start of the night. It's when it gets to the end of the night, that's when it normally does start draining off with a bar spend.
Right.
It all depends what punters you've got in the place at the moment.
So, I mean, I suppose the ideal is, logically, once you get people in the door, you want to hit that target as soon as you can.
Yeah, definitely. Most of the targets are with the people that come in, it's all set, if you know what I mean. Most places will have that minimum bar spend for that many people, and it never sort of varies. Because they know what people are roughly going to spend that night on drink at the end of the day. So they don't make it impossible for you to reach that bar spend.
No, sure. Am I right in thinking that Jess was a bit of a graffiti artist? Did he do any of the artwork himself?
Yeah, he done the actual Rave Allusion.
Because I was thinking
he done the actual smiley and that, and the one we've just having done with the wings that have got two little J's incorporated was done by Little Lolly.
Did he do this one?
No, that was his friend that done that.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, it's very good, that one, because his dad's the drummer of the Who, isn't it?
Right. Do you know what?
That's why it's incorporated with it.
I had no idea about that.
Kenny Jones.
Until
that's his dad.
I can't remember. I think it was you that told me actually.
Yeah.
That and when I invited him on to come on the channel and stuff, it was all just about let me help support this independent rave event. I had no idea he had it's so funny because my birth father was also a musician. He was in a band called the Four Pennies, not as big as the Who, but they had a #1. It's on YouTube. And then when it turned, I don't know that I didn't follow the Who particularly. So but when you said he's the son of I think his father's still alive, right?
Yes, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, because I did read a news story about it. So I think somebody posted, Jess never he never kind of lived off that fame, did he? I don't think he really.
No, not at all.
Yeah, he never mentioned it.
He wanted to be his own person, and that's what he done. That's why we got up Rave Allusion and everything else. He wanted to do his own event with someone. He wanted to make his own name in life, basically, at the end of the day, with his own business and everything else. That's what he was trying to do.
So when did you do the first event?
That was the 19th of November.
The first Rave Allusion event was this year?
The first Rave Allusion was 19th of November, 3 days after Jess's death, which was very hard to do and very hard to take.
Do you know what? I actually thought you guys had done one before. I don't know why I had that in my head.
That was the first one, and it was such a difficult day. But all the people that come down, all the DJs and everything, everyone stepped up, and it was just, we remember Jess that day. It was an emotional day and everything else, but we remember Jess in a good way. We wanted it. We talked to his family as well. They said go ahead with the rave, which we did.
And I remember reading that.
Jess. Yeah, we remembered. Yeah, it was even in the newspapers, isn't it, that he had his rave to go to as well.
Oh man, that must
Sorry, 9th of November.
I don't know how you got through that day, mate. I take my hat off to you. I
It
don't know
was
how
very
you got.
hard. I had very good friends around me. That's all I can say.
Yeah, yeah. I would have. I mean, I'm such a soppy guy. I would have. There would have been tears like streaming down my face the whole time. I think if I'd been there.
Yeah. Me and my girlfriend Crystal, we got through it together with our close friends
Yeah.
and everything else. So comforting each other. There's quite a few videos, photographs of her on stage with me when I'm DJing, because it was very hard, especially me and Duncan, because what happened with Jess, there was an hour free that someone had to fill in his set. So me and
Right.
Duncan done a back to back for an hour, and that's got to be in my whole life the hardest set that I've ever done. At the end of the day, trying to do that with the emotions that was running in the room and everything else, it was
Yeah.
hard. Even I could feel Duncan feeling it as well, because
But
Duncan Disorderly knew him back in the day, Strawberries. That's the thing; they've known each other for years.
right. But as hard as that was, there must have been to the fact that you got through it, the fact that you did it, that you got up and you did it. There must have been a sense of achievement of sorts as well. There must. I mean, you must have felt him there.
Yeah, I think everyone that was there that day felt him there. Especially, I played a last tune as well. I should have written it down. I can't think of the name of the last tune I played, but it was
There's a
during
couple of
Jess's
there's a
set.
couple of people in the chat that were there. If you can remember the last track that was played, let us know, guys. Put it in
Me and
the
Duncan set, and that was very emotional. Like tears were dripping down my set, my eyes. I
yeah.
think Duncan had a couple of tears. I think that as it goes, that was probably the last. That was the last tune in the last set as it goes for Jess's, and that was really hard.
One of the things I always like talking about is on these interviews is the things that make us human, the important moments of human connection, because that's really what life is all about. Important moments of human connection. Those
And music
powerful.
does that. Music
Yeah,
brings
it's a
massive
big part.
connections in life. Whatever music you could be into, reggae, Bangla, whatever you're into, you'll always have a connection with music massively.
Pixie says it was lustral every time.
That's it. That track.
I'm going to
It was.
get that. I'm going to add that
Yeah,
to my playlist right now.
yeah. It's the
uh,
Joey Silver remix as well that we played.
yeah. And
Very
then
emotional.
Sarah's saying musical freedom was in the last set, but not the last track.
Yeah.
But it's
The
as
day went
difficult.
like a blur, or the evening went like a blur to me.
I'm
It weren't
sure.
until the next couple of days that I realised and it all settled down what a success it was. It took a couple of days for it to sink in and everything else, because my
I
head
do,
back for the whole week was just in a blur, really.
I
Everything
do
had gone
remember
just so quick.
I do remember sitting here that day and my feet going, "Thank you, Lance, for giving us a weekend off. We really appreciate it." And all these live streams were coming through from the event. People kept doing little live videos and that, and I could see what an emotional event it was. And I was thinking, I kind of wish I'd gone now, because that's something different, It's but then at the same time, I literally had only met Jess like properly at Hello Rave, which was like 4 days earlier, or however the
Yeah, I
previous
see
week.
him
Anyway.
after Hello Wave. He come to see me that night, and he was literally, he gave me a big hug and went, "I love you, Ant. I can't wait for next week," and everything else. And yeah, and then
Yeah,
next day he'd gone. It was just couldn't believe it at the end of the day. He was so excited for what was coming up.
I've lost so many friends under the age of 40. I think in my new book I talk about at least 4 of them. There's pictures of 3 of them in the book, and one of the things I've learned about having gone through that at various different points in my life, it's been different people at different times, and there's usually a little bit of a gap in between each one, thank God. Never gets any easier, man.
No, never did.
You think, you get a bit tougher and you can deal with it, but it the pain and the loss is just as hard as the first one sometimes. And my only takeaway that I can sort of give to you is because of something that happened after my friend Angela passed away. Is I have a very firm belief, although I'm not a particularly religious guy, I have a very firm belief that these people are kind of looking out for us. They're somehow they're around.
Yeah.
And
Jess was in that room that day. You could feel him in that room.
yeah, I could feel it
Yeah.
even from just watching the live videos when I was watching. I just, I could feel it. Absolutely could feel it.
He would have been proud, bless him, what he'd created.
Thank you, Sarah. I really appreciate you stopping in and popping in the chat. Big love to you, and I'll see you soon. And I've got to give you your birthday card as well. Yeah, so Ronnie Multiprint, that's a great name. Lustral hits me too. Massive track. Yeah, thank you, mate.
Big tune, isn't it, Mr. Multiprint?
So the next Rave Allusion in March.
15th,
yeah. We looked at the poster for the lineup just now. I'll put it back up again in a sec.
Bless you.
Same venue.
Yep, same venue.
Day rave again.
Yeah, 1 till 9.
Yeah. What's gonna be different about it, if anything?
I don't know, to be fair. I'm trying to put in a couple of little surprises. So as long as that comes off, everything else. But the little venue's got an atmosphere. We've got a new DJ added to the lineup as well, Offspring. That absolutely brings the final, brings the fire. She's Vinyl Vera's daughter, a massive DJ from back in the day. So she'll bring the fire. And it's what we do. It's the music that we'll bring to the venue at the end of the day. The raves and the breaks.
Yeah, I have to say, I know you know the situation, but fingers crossed. Hopefully, I will be there. It's in the diary. I'm just trying to move something, which is nothing to do with the rave scene. It's a work thing that's not connected to this part of my life at all. But as long as I can reschedule it, I'll be there. Let's talk about.
You'll have to watch the live streams again.
Oh no, sod that! I'm going to be there. Trust me, I'm going 90% certain. I just got to sort of something, but 90% certain.
We'll call you live stream Lance if not.
Let's talk about the day rave scene a bit, because I don't think pre-pandemic day raves were certainly not the massive thing they are now.
No, they weren't.
I mean, I think there were a couple, but I don't think they were massive. They weren't a big thing.
But then pre-pandemic, there weren't a lot of people going out at that time. It seems that after pandemic, that's when the rave scene started to go again, in my eyes. Loads of people come out back raving and everything else because they'd been denied it for so many years. And all our generation now are all going back out raving because they've all got grandkids, all the children are grown up and everything else.
Yeah. I mean, unless you had my life, I don't have the kids, but most people, have had kids, maybe got grandkids. I mean, I've lost count of the number of people that I've met at a rave, either with their son or their daughter, which is great. So, so nice. There's one lady I've met with her and her kids about 3 times now at the venue that Hello Rave was on. I forget the name of it. She's always and not XOYO, no, the one off Brick Lane. What's the venue on Brick Lane?
43 East.
93 feet
93 East, that's it.
She's always there.
Venue.
She's always there with her kids there, and then I've also met people that I've met 5 people that who I've either remembered or they've remembered me from Bagley's. God knows how, because I looked so different. I dug out a picture. I found a picture of kind of what I looked like at that time. I might, if I can find it, I might pop it up for you. But I sent it to.
We've got to see. We've got to put it up there.
Let me see if I can. I've got it on my phone actually, so I can put it. I'll show you.
We've got all night. We've got all night, so take your time.
Yeah, all right, okay, all right. It's coming. All right, I'll put myself in it. I'll drop myself in it now, haven't I? So this was taken. I think this was taken either because my hair was longer, so I've either
No
just had it cut.
photoshopping now.
I've either just had it cut in this picture, or I'm still growing it. But hang on, let me take this down so you see it larger. When I went to Bagley's, I looked like that.
Well, that is different, isn't it?
Yeah, and a lot younger, and I was proper lean as well. And
So
but
if you want, you can have some of my hair. I'll give you some of my hair if you want.
See the hair there. It came down to when I was dancing at Bagley's. It came down to my waist. It was really long because people used to grab it all the time, and it would get stuck. It would I'd get caught. It'd get caught indoors and God knows what. So I only had it like super long for about a year, and then I chopped it to my shoulder. So that picture was either when I was still growing it or just after. I'm not sure which.
So if you used to get ill in the toilet back in the day, you used to have to get someone to hold your hair up, yeah?
No, I didn't drink. I was completely sober. I didn't drink, didn't take anything. The woman, that's why that woman loved me, because I would always turn up and do my thing, and she really liked that. And I got offered free drinks, and all I wanted was a Coca-Cola, or a Red Bull, or whatever it was.
Like me, Diet Coke, and I'm happy when I'm out.
Didn't they used to have like baby shams back then? Wasn't it like baby
I think
sham?
they still do now. You can get a baby sham.
I think the only closest I had to an alcohol was like a baby sham. So there you go. Tom, I've been there. Brick Lane used to have great clubs back in the day. So question from Tom: do you have tunes on YouTube?
No, I don't. I'm on Mixcloud.
Okay, so yeah. Or SoundCloud? You got a SoundCloud account?
No, I'm just on Mixcloud.
Just on
so
Mixcloud.
If you type in my name on Mixcloud,
if you can get your missus to send me the link for that on Facebook, I'll put it up in here. If you can communicate with sign language to her off camera.
No, she's not with me as it goes. She's having a tattoo done at the moment.
Oh, fair enough. So let's just go back to day rave thing. So we came out of the pandemic, right? And suddenly there's all these raves and stuff going on. My mate Kenny told me about solo ravers, and I said, yeah, I'll definitely come along. And I was doing the post office play at the time, so I just didn't have any free time. I was rehearsing every weekend. We were rehearsing, and as soon as that was out of the way, I was like, right, now I'm going clubbing again. And the first one I went to was a Reed Brothers event at XOYO. That was the first one. And I was up dancing on that stage from about the point that I arrived to the point I got up on that stage was about 20 minutes. Dancing with Julia, who co-runs Solo Ravias. I was dancing with her and Dan like for about 4 hours. And I forgot everything. I hadn't been to one of them clubs for so long. I forgot what to wear and everything, and I put on like posh shoes. I put on these like
biggest
boots.
mistake ever, that one.
Oh mate, they were so heavy, and I still danced in them for 4 hours. Still, and I was sober, and just like for me, dancing is like going down the gym. So because I should be going to the gym like 3-4 times a week, but I'm writing all the time, so I never have time. So when I go clubbing, I will dance for as long as I can because I'm knocking the pounds off. It's great. So
yes,
it
does keep you fit.
Yeah, it does keep you fit. Like going to the gym keeps you fit. Socially, it's great. I've been to 16 events. I've only seen one thing kick off, and I've only seen one fight happen. And I can remember when I used to go clubbing back in the day, it was not like that. You'd see a fight every night. Yeah, that was pre the rave scene. That's good. I mean, I think there's two factors there. One is everybody's a bit older from our crowd. The day rave crowd tends to be like 35 and above. It's not exclusively that. So people 100%. Are a bit more sensible.
It's the money as well. If you come into London and then try and get back out of London, you have to leave London by, I think it's 11 o'clock. You've got to come out of the clubs to get the last train to get back to Essex. If you miss that train, I think it's around £120 in an Uber, which is a lot of money. So the day rave's a lot better because you can get home and it's not costing you a fortune.
Yeah.
And now, who wants to be walking around London at 3 o'clock in the morning trying
No.
to get a cab and something like that? It's just not viable at the end of the
No.
day. The money side of it as well, everything's gone up in price, and it's not cheap now to go out nowadays.
No.
By the time you get your tickets and when you get drinks in the clubs and everything else, if you go in Shoreditch in some clubs, they want £16 for a drink, which is
ridiculous
ridiculous.
prices.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. Yeah. Yeah, I do feel like sometimes they're squeezing the last blood out of a stone where the population is concerned, but that's a topic for another time. So let me ask you this. I feel like, I mean, I've dipped in and out of the rave scene at different times. You've been a bit more consistent being in it from the get-go. But I personally feel like we're actually in a kind of one of the best renaissance times for this scene ever in my life, because it's got to the point now where on some weekends I've got 2 or 3 events to choose from, and sometimes it's quite difficult to choose which one to go to because I've got friends going to all of them. There's something that appeals about all of them, and I have to kind of figure out what's the best one for me. But yeah, what do you think?
No, 100% at the end of the day. There's just so many good, and it's a good time as well to be a DJ. There's the music out there that I like as well. All the producers out there, like the Rehabs, Duncan Disorderly as well. You've got Andy M, loads of them out there, all making this underground sort of breaks, rave house stuff and everything. And it's a really good time to be in the music industry at the end
Yeah.
of the day, even to be a raver. Because there's so much house as well. I love my house, my piano house and all that, but I feel like there's a load of raves out there that is just house orientated, where it hasn't got the rave scene, which we was all into back in the day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was at Moondance a couple of weeks ago. I was at Raindance, and you still get the whole rave hardcore stuff in there and everything, and it goes
Yeah, I
off.
do like a bit of a mix, I have to say. I mean, I
Yes,
like my
so
trance
do I.
events, they're all good, but I do like a bit of a
Variety
mix.
is a spice of life, as they say, and it goes like that with music. If it's a tune, I'll like it, whether it be hip hop, reggae, whatever. If it's a tune, I like it. Any genres of music.
Here's a question from Keith. What do you think about AI and music? That is a good question to ask. In fact, I should ask every creative person that's in the music scene that question when they come on.
Most music now is produced on computers anyway.
Of course it
There's
is,
not much
yeah.
live stuff that is produced actually with live bands and all that. It's all done in bedrooms and that, with the music that we're producing at the moment. It's all done in bedrooms, tiny little studios, in sheds, garages, whatever. So basically, it all is AI music at the moment.
Right. So is that another way of saying AI is basically a tool? You've just got to learn how to use it.
It is in a way, definitely.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I mean, I produced one track with Rehabs, but I was there with Chris and Tony. But Chris is the one that pushes the buttons at the end of the day, along with Tony. I was just there giving my creative experience of what, as a DJ, I like and how I would like to play at the end of the day.
In terms of events overseas, because I'm going to my first ever, well, clubbing holiday, I suppose you'd call it, whatever. I'm going to Unity in Corfu in May. There's a group of us going, including Pinky's going, thank God. My friend Nikki, who's one of my closest friends on the rave scene, is coming. Also, thank God. And that's a really big thing for me because I'm still dealing with severe PTSD, which actually occurred because of a trip, things that happened on a trip when I went overseas. So that whole trip just completely terrifies me. I'm not going to lie. I'm still really nervous about it. Do you think the changes that have occurred with the day rave and the kind of the attitude and the atmosphere there and the older crowd, do you think that's going to transfer to these overseas events? Is it going to be a similar vibe and a similar crowd, or is it going to be a bit
Yeah,
more
no,
youth on the piss,
no, definitely. If you look at when Centerorce do them over in Tenerife, it's all an older crowd that go over there. When Slipback does his Slip Back in Time as well, it's always an older crowd over there as well. all round the pool and everything else. Marion Key plays there, along with a few others that you know, and also when you go to Unity in the Sun, I know that's a big older crowd over there as well.
Yeah, I have to admit, Step Back in Time is an event I really want to do, and I was quite distraught to learn that Unity and that are both on at the same time, unfortunately. Yes. But I've committed to going to Unity now, and Sonia, who's one of the people running it, and I think she's the missus of one of the DJs that's going. She's been really great with back and forth with me with emails, and you know she knows the story. So lovely woman. This is the deets for Unity. I'll put it in the chat.
Always available for bookings.
Yeah, but by the time it comes around, I think my book on going back to raving will be well underway in terms of me writing it. And I think it's basically going to be about all the events I've been to this year. And I think I'm going to end the book with me going to Unity in the Sun and the experience of what Unity is like. And that's going to be the sort of the end of the book.
Hopefully Rave Allusion makes the book then.
Oh, mate, absolutely. Mate, 2000%. I can promise you it will be in there. There's going to be a mention about Jess. Absolutely. All the people that I've interviewed, it will all be on there. All be in there because that's all part of the story. So I can promise you 2000% that'll be in there. One of my regulars just popped in the chat. Good to see you, Daryl. So what's the future for Rave Allusion? Is it what in terms of the plan going forward? How many events do you see Rave Allusion having a year?
Probably 3.
3. So like a spring event, a summer event, and a winter event, sort of thing.
Yes.
Maybe.
Yes.
Okay.
Definitely 2, maybe 3. We're going to have another one in the same venue, and then because it's so popular, we are going to move it to a slightly bigger venue,
right,
in the near future. But the one after this is almost set in stone. The DJs are almost set in stone, and everything else. It's in the pipeline, as they would say.
Right.
But it's going to be at the same venue for the one that's coming up on the 15th and the one after that.
Mate, if you do a Rave Allusion jacket, put me down for one. I'll have one.
Not a problem. We are going to get merch up and running very soon. I'm just talking to our sponsors, Blue One London, at the moment about merchandise.
Well, I've got an Outcast Creative hoodie on now.
Yeah. Love that. So we'll have to swap. We'll have to swap clothing.
Yeah. This is when my channel gets to a certain level, I'm going to have a load of merch available. There'll definitely be a hoodie, and there'll definitely be a baseball cap, probably a t-shirt, maybe a bag of some sort.
Don't forget, everyone loved the cup. Got to remember that. Everyone likes to drink out of a cup.
Everyone likes a mug. Yeah, they do. It's a coffee mug.
I wouldn't have put it like that, but yeah.
That's what you could put on it. Outcast Creative. Everyone likes a mug. Yeah, that would fit for sure. Sue's saying, yeah, you're going to need a bigger boat.
Bless you.
Definitely. Sue, come up and talk to me at that event. If I don't know you already, just come up and give me a big hug. Say, Lance, it's Sue. That'd be awesome. So
one day we might go sailing down the Thames with Rave Allusion. You never know. Before
we wrap up and I tell people what else I've got coming up next week, because I've got 3 interviews next week. Is there anything else you want to plug? Is there anything else you would like to mention? Is there anyone else you want to thank? Anything else you want to say at all? Please do.
Just a big thank you to Centerorce for always having me on the station and getting my shows every week. To the My Love event boys for being one of their residents, same as Techly Sass, Duncan and Bonnie for Strawberry Sundays as well.
Yeah, I love Duncan and Bonnie.
Duncan and Bonnie, they're such a lovely couple.
I bet it'd be great. It would be great if I could get them to come on and do an interview together. If I could get them both on camera at the same time, that would be.
I'm sure one of them is locked now, and I'm sure one of them will get back to you. Or if not, I'll have put in a little word for you.
Yeah, I have mentioned it to Duncan already, and I'm sure we're going to make it happen at some point. So
don't forget Cloud 9 on the 15th of February, Strawberry Sundays, Valentine's Ball. That always is good. That one.
Unfortunately, I've already got a ticket for House Is the Feeling. So because it's at Coco's
Whoa.
my favourite. Coco's my favourite venue, and to be fair, they did announce it first. As soon as they announced, I was the first person to buy a ticket.
Yeah, was you?
Like, yeah, I was like,
I don't know whether Duncan will come on now. You might be pushing it.
I was like, I'm gonna visualize that I'm not gonna be single by then, so I'm gonna visualize that that's a romantic event for me to be at, and
oh, that's
we'll
right. So for Rave Allusion, might have to put you down for a +1 on the guest list then, yeah.
Okay, fingers crossed. I hope so. That'd be nice. Okay, so next week, for those people that are new to the channel, I've got a regular streaming session, 10 o'clock every Tuesday, where I do a roundup of film and TV shows that we've been watching that we recommend to you that we think are good. Predominantly, we spent a lot of time talking about Black Doves last night. That's called the Nielsen ratings, funnily enough. Occasionally, I'm a guest on the Critical Drinkers channel. He does open bar every Thursday. I usually turn up on there about 3 or 4 times a year. He comes on my channel occasionally. He's one of my main sponsors. So big shout out to Will Jordan, thanking you for your support. The channel, my channel would not be what it is now without his assistance. This interview is number, I think it's number 91 or 92, 91, because we did 90 yesterday. So I've only got 8 to go until I hit 100. That would be 100 interviews in 2 years, which nothing short of amazing.
Big milestone that is.
It's pretty good. I'm quite pleased. So I'll be back with the usual Tuesday show next week. I normally do a show on Sundays, but we kind of wrapped up Sundays for the year at the minute. So if we do a Sunday show, it'll be random, but they're normally around 8 o'clock. Next week, I've got 2 interviews. I'm interviewing independent film director Gulshan Singh, who's got a film coming out called IC9. That drops, I think, in February. So we're going to be talking to him, another independent filmmaker, and I do like to support them. And then you're going to know this lady, Anthony, legendary podium dancer from Ibiza and London. Vicky Lee's going to be in the house. So Vicky Lee, who's been on many a podium. In fact, she's in this shot. Yeah, Vicky Lee's going to be here. That was Adele Andea playing at Coco for the Peach 31st with Chris Bain. Chris Bain, who's quite camera shy, has also agreed to come on the channel. So he's going to be coming on the channel probably in the new year because I don't think I'll be able to fit him in this side of Christmas. So quite a few guests lined up already. Don't forget, if you're an independent creative, doesn't matter which field, whether it's music, film, television, you might have a play coming up that you're doing on the London Fringe or something like that. Anything creative, you've got your new book. It's about to drop on Amazon. Let me know. That's a reminder. I nearly forgot to plug my book. I've got a new book out. Did you know that, Anthony? I've got a new book out.
No, I didn't.
Here it is. It's called Silver Screen Journeys. It is my life through 101 plus times that I went to the cinema and various memories attached to that.
Where can you get it? That's the problem.
You can get it. You can get it on. What happened there?
Sorry. I just got a phone call. What time to get a phone call, eh?
That's all right. I'll put the link up for the book. Yeah, drop the link, Keith. Thank you for reminding me. This has just come out. It's only been out a week, and there's a lot of people mentioned in the from the rave scene in this book. In fact, I think, unless I'm mistaken, let me just check. I think I had the foresight to remember to do this. I think I mentioned you, Anthony, in the book.
Wow.
Yeah, I think I did.
I can't believe that would be 2 books I've been in my life. I can't believe that. That's amazing.
So there's so at the back, there's a big shout out to all the people from the rave scene, and there's a big picture here of a whole load of them when we went to Transylvania. And you can see here there's a big list. See this list of all these people, and in that list, Sarah, who was in the chat earlier, is in that list. And yeah, if you look in this section, you can see that I've even mentioned Jess. There's a Jess Jones in brackets RIP there.
Oh, yeah. He'll like that, bless him. You hear that, Jess?
Yeah. So yeah, Jess Jones. I'm trying to see if I put you in there as well. If I didn't, basically what Jess is saying is he was more important, and of the two, that's the one I should
he
have
was.
remembered, clearly.
Oh, no, he definitely was. He used to tell everyone, I'm the front man, don't worry about Ant.
Well,
Anything you
there's a
need to
whole
know,
load
come
of
through me, Ant don't know nothing. I'm the boss.
There's a whole load of people. Duncan and Bonnie I put in there. So, yeah, there's a few people, Chalky White, Danny Lines, all the people that I've sort of like spoken to or met up until then. So,
I noticed you told me this at the end of the video, not at the start of the video.
Well, not to worry. That's available now on Amazon if you want to get it. It's quite an emotional read. You'll read about the first time I went to the cinema with my parents. You'll read about the last time I went to the cinema with my parents. The first time I went with my very first girlfriend. The last time I went with my ex-wife. It's all those different trips connected to different film memories are all in this book. And the Rave book is going to have a very similar format to this. Except there's going to be two timelines because I'm going to interview people for the Rave book from the rave scene who were on it back in the day. And I'm going to do a timeline about events in the past that people went to with little snippets from the interviews I've done. And that's going to be juxtaposed with my journey back to raving in 2024. So it's going to be quite interesting, I think. It's probably going to be quite a big book. One of the first people I'm going to be interviewing for that is Jimmy, who I know you know, who always wears the hat.
Yeah.
So
Brother
Jimmy's interview is going to be pretty legendary because he's been on the scene a long time. Right.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Listen, fantastic, and to meet you again. I know we're gonna meet in person properly at Orange, I think.
Yes, definitely at Orange. Hopefully, as long as I can find you at Coco, it's quite hard. I'll be downstairs though.
Look for me down the front in the middle. I'll have 2 glow sticks, and I'll be doing that.
Okay.
And if I'm not there, I'll be in the balcony on the right, where there's the royal box on the right. Sometimes I dance in that royal box for a bit.
So if you feel someone grab your glow sticks out your hand, you know that's me behind you. I'm quite tall.
Fantastic. I look forward to that. It's gonna be a good event on Saturday. Tickets sold out really fast. Tickets have been changing hands since people have been trying to get one. I think it's going to be really great. Thanks to all
Chris Paul and Orange, legendary, aren't they? Back in the day.
Yeah, that was the first event that I went to at Coco was Orange.
Yeah.
So just before I moved out of London, I think it was 1992. And man, that was a sweaty time.
Rocket back in the day up in Holloway. My missus used to go there, Crystal, back in the day, up in Rocket, Holloway.
Yeah, the Rocket. I never went there.
Yeah.
Never went to the Rocket.
I think she danced there back in the day as well.
Yeah, everybody told me about that place, but I did not go there.
No, I was lucky enough on Saturday, really lucky enough to actually come on after Chris Paul on Centerorce. So that was quite an honour to do that because at the end of the day, he's in his own right world DJ. At the end of the day,
I think there's going to be some sort of shout out to the late DJ Randall.
Yeah, definitely.
As well on Saturday. Sure. Oh,
yeah, because he played at the last one, didn't he, Randall? He was at the last one.
I've got several pictures of him because I took loads of photographs down the front. Thank God I downloaded them onto my PC before my phone got hacked. So I do still have those. Tom, the Kindle version of the book, I'm just trying to get the cover sorted out. As soon as I've done that, it'll be done. People have asked me about the audio version of the book as well. I'm trying to convince my friend Jason Fleming, who's mentioned in the book about 20 times. I'm trying to get him to record the audio for that. So it will have a very lock, stock and 2 smoking barrels style audio if Jace comes and does that. Thanks for your question. Thanks for your support. Lots of new people in the chat tonight, which is always great. Do support the channel. Spread the love. Guys, I'm only about 130 subscribers, something like that, away from 5,000. So if everybody that's in chat right now did a little post on their social media with a link for this channel and said, could you support this guy? He supports other creative people because that is what I do. That is the main job of this channel, is to support other creatives. The channel will grow that bit faster, that bit bigger, and I'll be able to offer greater support the further I go. If I can get to the similar scale of some of my friends who are up there in the higher echelons, I'll be able to do a lot more practical stuff in terms of supporting people like that will really make a difference. That's where I want to get to. So please help me with that. Share the love on the social media. It only takes about 2 minutes to write a little personal post out. If you could do that, I'd really appreciate it. I want to hit 5,000 before Christmas Day if I can. And that's
You've
not
got to
very
share the
long
love,
away.
people. Come on, share the love.
Yeah. So thanks, Pixie. I really do appreciate that. And this is the main link for the channel. And then if people want to see the other interviews, go to the industry interviews playlist. I've got Gail Ann Hurd on there, who produced Terminator and Terminator 2. She's the producer of the entire Walking Dead franchise. Ron Underwood, who directed Tremors and City Slickers, has been on my channel. I've had
one of my
loads
girlfriend's favourite films. That.
There you go. You want to watch that interview?
Tremors.
It's really, really, really good.
You guys love a tremor.
Lots of British actors on the channel. Lots of interviews with lots of British actors. Great British actors. Some starting out. Some people like Phil Davis, who've been around for donkey's years. He started in Quadrophenia, been in loads of television dramas, Stephen Lawrence drama, all kinds of stuff. And then we've had people like Jason Fleming, Danny Webb. There's loads of people. Yeah, Tremors is a classic. You're not wrong about that. Absolutely. So, and thanks so much for coming on, mate. Anytime you want a bit of promo or you want to come back, just let me know. And
100%.
maybe
I'll come on next time. I'll come on with the missus. You can chat to both me and her together at the end of the day.
That sounds brilliant. I have also asked Marion Key to come on for an interview. She said she's thinking about it. I don't know why, because she looks.
As it goes on with her on Friday, I'll give her a little kick up the backside and say, "Go on, got to go and have
Marion's like you know, there are about 10 like London DJs on this scene that are proper stunning, and she's one of them. She's like an 11 out of 10. So Marion, come on, sort it out. You know, camera loves you.
I'll have to tell her she might have an admirer as well when she comes on then.
Oh, you know. So what's not to admire? She's a good-looking woman. So anyway, on that note, I'm going to get out of here now. Fun times. So look, don't forget to like and subscribe. If you need to get a hold of me, it's via the Twitter page or the Outcast Creative Facebook page. Do check out the other content on the channel. As Anthony said, he hasn't created his own tracks yet.
I've done one.
You've done one.
I have had one out there, and that was called The Filthy Frog. I've done that with Rehab Productions.
Well,
it's come out on a record label and everything else.
We've done one track, and it's this one.
Misfits and dreamers getting innovative. It's film, TV, and theater in the mix. Industry interviews where ideas get their fix. He's creative, we're creative. How about you? Share your passion, join the crew. At Outcast Creative, we're breaking through. Hang with Lance and the Outcast crew. Hang with Lance and the Outcast crew. Interviews with fellow artists on the rise and reviews that might surprise. Films, TV shows from back in the day. You might just find a hidden gem today. He's creative, we're creative. How about you? Share your passion, join the crew. At Outcast Creative, we're breaking through. Hang with Lance and the Outcast crew. Hang with Lance and the Outcast crew. Filmmakers, comic book creators, stand up proud. Actors, musicians, board game designers, be loud. At Outcast Creative, amazing's the word. He even interviewed the legend, Gail Ann Hurd. He's creative, we're creative. How about you? Share your passion, join the crew. At Outcast Creative, we're breaking through. Hang with Lance and the Outcast crew. Hang with Lance and the Outcast crew. So come along, take a chance. Join the Outcast, hang with Lance. Bring your vision, your art, your flair. At Outcast Creative, there's always room to share. Hang with Lance